Actually, the sales of the OPPO Find X7 Ultra last year were bad. It was just not as high as they had hoped. So with the Find X8 Ultra, they shifted their strategy. Forget about the camera specs race, focus on better everyday usability instead. Among all the ultra-level phones with increasingly larger and more protruding cameras, the Find X8 Ultra is the one that feels the most like a normal phone. But this also means the camera upgrades are relatively modest. You're probably worried about whether its camera system is outdated, right? I was too, but only at first. After a full day of testing, all those concerns disappeared. In fact, I've even grown to like this phone a little. At this point, we still don't know if OPPO plans to release the Find X8 Ultra globally, but you can always buy it on Geek Wheels. The link is below the video. Compared to the Find X7 Ultra's 4 cameras, the Find X8 Ultra has 2 upgraded cameras, one unchanged, one downgraded, and a brand new one added. Let's start with the 3x telephoto camera, which OPPO takes great pride in. This lens has a true 3x optical focal length, which is 70mm, meaning it fully utilizes all the sensor's pixels. On paper, this should be the second best 70mm camera in the world. Since the focal length is neither too long nor too short, it's perfect for street photography and everyday shots. Macro shot capability is also present. You can still get a lot of stunning shots with it. Honestly, I can hardly find any flaws with this camera. No matter the time or lighting, it delivers razor-sharp photos. If I had to nitpick, the large sensor and aperture create an extremely shallow depth of field. For example, in the shot of a cat, the head and legs might be sharp, but the belly could be blurred. Excessive bokeh isn't always ideal. OPPO includes an option to reduce background blur via multi-frame processing, but honestly, the effect isn't always noticeable. Still, this minor drawback doesn't overshadow its strengths. This camera has undoubtedly helped me capture countless stunning shots. A great lens needs equally great software to truly shine, and I have to say, the portrait mode on the Find X8 Ultra is in a league of its own. Look at the edges of the beard, every single hair is clearly separated from the background. Even the iPhone can't compete with the X8 Ultra in this regard. This is thanks to OPPO's AI-powered segmentation algorithm, which delivers bokeh so natural, it looks like an optical blur. The newly added multispectral camera plays a key role here. It identifies the color temperature of different areas in a scene, allowing the phone to adjust each zone individually. Take this photo for example, even ignoring the image quality, since the iPhone 16 Pro Max lacks a 3x telephoto, the X8 Ultra shot renders skin tones more lifelike. This phone excels at color correction for people, but for scenes without a human, the difference from the iPhone becomes negligible. To sum up, this camera might not be as revolutionary as you'd expect. It doesn't perfectly replicate real-world color temperature in every scenario, but in extremely tricky lighting conditions, it could be a lifesaver. After all, your girlfriend won't kill you for ruining her moments. On paper, the 6x periscope camera sees the most significant improvements. Larger sensor, wider aperture, yet minimal size increase, thanks to a new prism design. But why, on paper, isn't the actual performance good? Well, the triple refracting prism causes a light loss at each bending, so its low light performance doesn't deliver a wow effect. Compared to the last gen, it feels almost the same. In fact, in dim lighting, the X8 Ultra often defaults to cropping the 3x telephoto to 6x instead of using this native 135mm lens. This shows that its night photography capability aren't stellar. Another downside, the prism makes its minimal focus distance absurdly long, over 90 centimeters, ruling out close-up shots entirely. But it's not all bad. As the longest native focal length among ultra phones, it shines in good lighting. With some creativity, you can still capture great shots. And if that's not enough, there's always AI zoom to save the day. The ultra-wide camera on the Find X7 Ultra was already mediocre, and the X8 Ultra made it worse. It now uses the same sensor as the $180 cheaper Find X8s. So, if you love shooting ultra-wide photos or videos, you might want to wait for the Vivo X200 Ultra instead. I get it, both Xiaomi and OPPO choose to shrink the ultra-wide camera to prioritize telephoto performance, since most people rarely use it. Unless you are into hiking or vlogging, you probably won't care much about its quality. And without direct comparisons, many won't even notice how much worse it is. But as a consumer, spending $1,000 on a phone only to get a weaker ultra-wide cam is something hard to swallow. That said, if you can live with a 10 or maybe 20% drop in image quality, this lens still gets the job done. I've even managed to take some decent shots with it. However, video recording is where this camera truly struggles. The Find X8 Ultra supports recording up to 4K 120fps with Dolby Vision, though only the main camera and 3x telephoto actually work at this setting. All 4 cameras can shoot 4K 60fps with the Dolby Vision, but OPPO still hasn't added 8K or log recording, which is a great pity. The footage itself, nothing groundbreaking. In fact, with the downgraded ultra-wide camera, low-light video quality is disappointing for the price tag. Like many mid-range Android phones, it suffers from muddy details, noise, and aggressive focus hunting in motion shots. One other thing to note, there's no way to adjust the video settings such as shutter speed, ISO, or anything else in mastered mode. To have full control over recording options, you will have to go to movie mode, which is very counterintuitive. If video recording is your priority, wait for Vivo's flagship or an iPhone. The X8 Ultra is just not the best. The 1-inch LYT-900 sensor is an old friend we've seen many times before. No surprises here. It's the only unchanged camera on the Find X8 Ultra, and its capability are already well known. Stellar dynamic range, crisp details, and excellent low-light performance. I won't dwell on it too much, just enjoy the samples. By the way, play with the master mode settings to capture photos with more of that Hasselblad-like tonal richness. Personally, I often prefer shooting in this mode. Which style do you like better? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Unexpectedly, the front camera got an upgrade, but again, it's just on paper. Real-world performance isn't much different from before. Since it lacks the multispectral sensor, the portrait mode algorithms don't seem to match the rear cameras, so you don't get the same precise edge detection or color accuracy. The surprise is in video recording. Like rear cameras, it can shoot Dolby Vision at up to 4K 60fps. Like the iPhone 16 series, there's a camera control button here. It's also just as shitty as an experience as the iPhone. Positioned too close to the center, it's awkward to reach. Since it's not a physical button, the haptic feedback feels sluggish. The lag when swiping to switch focal length makes it hard to select the zoom quickly. Honestly, aside from double tapping to launch the camera instantly, I barely use it. You might not know this, but the Xiaomi 15 Ultra's Pro mode no longer lets you adjust the Leica toning intensity, which honestly makes me furious, since most of my best shots relied on tweaking that setting. Thankfully, OPPO hasn't followed up on that path. The master mode still grants you the full control over Hasselblad toning. Just don't know why you can't adjust the contrast here. One minor bug popped out during testing, but other than that, I really don't have much to complain about. My time with the Find X8 Ultra isn't long, but it's already won me over. While it has its flaws, they're all within acceptable limits for me. The comprehensive focal length, Hasselblad color science, and the least protruding camera module among flagships made me see OPPO in a new way this year. That 70mm camera in particular has stolen my heart. If without any surprises, the Find X8 Ultra might just be my favorite flagship camera phone of the year. Now, GeekWheels currently has this phone in stock. Don't forget to check the link below the video if you're interested. We'll also be getting our hands on the Vivo X200 Ultra as soon as it's available, so make sure to subscribe to our channel. This is the World from Gizmochina, and we'll see you next time.